All species experience stress. Stress is a generalized system and isn't released for one specific purpose. It can both be psychological and physical. When you are stressed, cortisol alongside adrenaline is released, and as a result of these things, a lot of things change in your body. For example, blood rushes to your legs, your heart rate speeds up, your digestion decreases, your throat goes dry because your salivary glands shut down, and so on. In fact, the adrenals have enough adrenaline to support stress for over 200 years, for better or for worse. Although you may feel exhausted after being chronically stressed, the adrenals don't burn out as such and stop producing adrenaline, so in theory you can be stressed for your entire lifetime. Now, I believe most people understand that getting good sleep, nutrition, sunlight, and exercise, for example, is fundamental in managing stress. So this video isn't going to discuss the most basic yet fundamental things you need to do to manage your stress, and instead discuss more advanced concepts and topics. Firstly, I just want to mention the common misconception that all stress is bad, because in fact, short-term stress, that is, stress that isn't prolonged and chronic, can actually be very good for you in many circumstances. Short-term stress can, for example, temporarily enhance your immune system, as it helps stop infection and illness while stressed. Many studies have come out showing how cold showers and baths instantly release adrenaline, and while your body is in this state of high stress, it is more resistant to infection. It links to a previous note I made in my video about illness, which I will link in the description, where I pointed out how if stress didn't temporarily suppress the immune system when our ancestors were extremely ill and a bear hypothetically came out of the bush or something like that to attack them, they'll be absolutely screwed if the stress didn't temporarily suppress the symptoms of illness to allow them to fight off that bear. So, short-term stress can be good for you, and hence you don't want your heart rate to be chronically low. But at the same time, you don't want to be chronically stressed either and have your heart rate chronically high. Even though short-term stress can be good for boosting your immune system, chronic stress is terrible for your immune system, and it actually increases the chances of illness over time due to stress fatiguing your system. The constant activation of the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal or HPA axis can dysregulate the immune system over time, leaving the body less capable of responding effectively to pathogens. This is why you should rest as much as reasonably possible and avoid stress/energy consumption. Many people, after working for weeks and weeks while being stressed, look forward to a holiday. And when the holiday finally comes after this work is finished, they often get ill. This is because your adrenaline crashes, and so does your immune system alongside with it. This is often known as leisure sickness. Your immune system, which has been overtaxed during stressful weeks of work, is often less effective at fighting off pathogens following that long bout of stress. When the person finally relaxes, their body now prioritizes recovery and no longer is in survival mode. This once again is a topic I greatly discussed in my video about illness, and I highly recommend you watch it for more detailed information on this topic. This video will now shift and discuss lesser known methods on how to prevent stress. Firstly, telling yourself or others to calm down basically never slows down stress. Often it simply increases it. So I just want the people who haven't figured that out yet to be aware of that. Don't tell your wife to calm down. It's not a very good approach in many cases. If you find yourself or others stressing out and want to calm them down, a much better approach is to control your or their breathing. Sounds stupid, but I've talked about this in my video about breathing, so I'll not go too much in depth about it. But the physiological side, I always call it the psychological side, I don't know why, is great at reducing stress. And this is why many people employ the physiological side subconsciously in their day-to-day activities to de-stress, and they don't even realize they're doing it. For those unaware, the physiological sigh is a double inhale followed by a long exhale that I just did. I don't want to go into too much detail over something I have previously discussed, but this best optimizes the carbon dioxide to oxygen ratio in your body, which is hence why your body literally does it naturally, and slows down your heart rate at an appropriate rate, subsequently reducing stress. In theme with using breathing to control your heart rate, it's also clear why meditation is very much a great tool at reducing stress. In meditation, you are utilizing breathing that will slow down your heart rate, while also increasing your ability to think rationally and logically about your circumstances. Other breathing exercises that do the opposite and make you breathe faster, even hyperventilate, like the Wim Hof breathing technique, also are now more understandable why they make you more alert due to this. For more information on how breathing can improve not just your management of stress, but also your life as a whole, I've made a video on this, which I will link in the description down below. I lastly want to finish this video talking about how social connection greatly impacts our level of stress. Humans are sociable creatures, and so connecting with others greatly mitigates and reduces chronic stress. Tachykinin is a molecule released when we go for too long without social connection, and it makes us feel more fearful, paranoid, and impairs our immune system. And so tachykinin is like the internal punishment signal in our body. It's like our body and brain telling us you're not spending enough time with people you really trust, or you're not getting enough social connection, and hence tachykinin is released. Social connection greatly mitigates and reduces long-term stress. It's in our biology for humans to be sociable, as if we weren't, we simply wouldn't exist. Even if social connection is with a pet, tachykinin is released. In a time where so many men are lonely, this explains why the saying that a dog is a man's best friend is true for so many. Alongside tachykinin, oxytocin is a similar chemical which is released when we do things with people that we love. It compels us to mate, which is why it's known as the love chemical as such. Every human, bearing a few unfortunate people with particular conditions, are programmed with the desire to both socialise and mate. I talk about this more in my video on dopamine, which, once again, if this interests you, I've linked in the description below. You're probably noticing how a lot of these topics in the video link to previous videos I've already greatly discussed. This is because stress truly does impact every facet of our lives and plays a fundamental part within it. Although this has been a quick video, this has been a very important video that I want to stress to you. I just died inside from that joke, but that is the end of the video. So thank you for watching, and yeah, any questions you have in below, feel free to give them. I will happily reply. See you later.